Get ready for aggressive LATs and high speeds. Today we have in the heading, how great is the company that creates mostly four-wheeled monsters known all over the world, but not included in the Red Book? BMW. Fasten your seatbelts and let's go. In 1913, on the outskirts of Munich, Gustav Otto and Karl Rapp, combining two automotive companies, Otto Flugmaschinen and Fabrik and Karl Rapp Motorwerke GmbH, in one plant, set up a joint production of aircraft. After the beginning of the First World War, the demand for their products has increased sharply with the assistance of the government and the implementation of a number of reorganizations. In 1916, the Flugmaschinenfabrik AG BFW, and in 1917, the famous Bayerische Motorenwerke, that is BMW. Later, the leadership of the company was taken over by the Austrian industrialist Franz Joseph Popp, and the position of the chief designer was invited by the talented engineer Max Fritz. Under the leadership of Fritz, the production of aircraft engines reached a new technical level, and the aircraft equipped with the BMW engine in 1919, it set a world record for flight altitude of 9,760 meters. In the same year, the company's emblem, a circle of four sectors, was approved. Two white rotating blades and two blue shining through them sky. With the end of the First World War, BMW was on the verge of disaster due to the defeat of Germany as well as due to the ban on the production of aircraft engines. But the entrepreneurial leaders quickly discovered a new niche, which became motorcycles. The first of them, the RIT 32, appears in 1923 and gains a lot of fans thanks to its high-speed quality and reliability. In the 1920s, two influential businessmen appeared in the history of BMW, Gauthier and Shapiro, to whom the company went. Shapiro organized the mass production of British small cars, Austin 7, and the release was put on the conveyor. By 1928, more than 500 Giro units were made, and they played a decisive role in the revival of BMW. In 1933, the appearance of a six-cylinder engine on the first BMW 303 model, which debuted at the Berlin Motor Show, became a real sensation. In the new 303 model, a radiator grille with a branded design was installed, expressing the presence of two elongated ovals. In 2 years of production of BMW 303, the company managed to sell 2,300 such cars. In 1936, an impressive sports car appears, BMW 328, with an aluminum chassis and a tubular frame. By the beginning of World War II, BMW had become one of the most dynamically developing companies in the world. At the same time, a plane equipped with a BMW engine crosses the North Atlantic from east to west. And Ernst Henny, on a motorcycle R12 equipped with a cardan drive, hydraulic shock absorbers, and a telescopic fork, invented by BMW, sets the world speed record for motorcycles, 216 per hour. Production expands after signing a secret agreement with Soviet Russia on the supply of its newest aircraft and their licensed production. Most of the Soviet record flights in the 1930s were made on aircraft equipped with BMW engines. After the end of the Second World War, most of the BMW factories were destroyed. In addition, the victorious Allies imposed a 3-year moratorium on production as the company participated in the supply of aircraft, cars, and motorcycles for the German army. And again, as a quarter of a century ago, BMW has to look for ways to save itself. And, as they say, helping drowning people is the work of drowning people themselves. And again, motorcycles saved the company from the crash. First, a single-cylinder R24, and then a two-cylinder R51. In 1951, BMW tries to return to the Auto Promo Club and starts producing the 501 model, a luxury class, but despite all the innovations in the new model, the production of the car is covered by a financial collapse for the company. It was then that BMW decided to return to what the company started in 1928. This time, a microliter and a Zeta were chosen for copying. developed by the Italian company ISO. First, its only door was in the front. The steering column was made sliding and with hinges, so that when the door was opened, the steering wheel remained attached to it. Secondly, the steering column was made sliding and with hinges, so that when the door was opened, the steering wheel remained attached to it. Another feature was the significantly smaller width of the rear wheel compared to the front one. However, the rest of the post-war moto coupes looked no better, and so it turned out that Isetta was 80% better than anything. But a year later, the two-seater Isetta presented to the public caused a sensation and was in good demand in Europe, and in 8 years, as many as 50,000 cars. And it was tiny Isetta that allowed the Bavarian engine factories to rise from the ashes and continue the production of cars. By 1959, the company was completely out of a crisis. In 1962, a new model appeared, which received an index of 1,500. The four-door car combined lightness, compactness, and sportiness. The novelty was successful and was released in the number of 23,000 copies. Undoubtedly, the 60s were successful for the company. After all, in these years, the first versions of the famous BMW cars appeared, models 3, 5, 6, and 7 series. With the appearance of the 5th series, the production of a fundamentally new generation of BMW cars began. BMW achieved special success thanks to the Coupe's 3.0 CSL, which won 6 European championships. This model was equipped with a 6-cylinder power unit with 4 valves per cylinder, as well as a braking system equipped with ABS, a perfect novelty at that time. In 1977, with the creation of the 7th series, the update of all BMW series was over. In 1986, the BMW M3 was presented, which became the most successful model of the company and won the first place in the World Championship in road racing. For the next 5 years, the BMW M3 led the way in the sports arena. And in 1987, the company continued the tradition of the 1930s and 1950s. While developing an experimental version of the new Roadster, the BMW Zone received cutting-edge components, and the series was limited to 8,000 copies and served rather as a kind of advertising to attract attention to the company. The production of cars did not stand still. In the early 90s, compact models of the 3rd generation of the 3rd series and the 8th series coupe were created. 1994 was a year of serious replenishment for BMW. The concern acquired the Rover Group Industrial Group, and together with it, the largest in Great Britain, a complex for the creation of Mark Rover, Land Rover, and mini cars. The purchase of this company allowed replenish the stock. This is a list of BMW cars that are lacking SUVs and super small class models. In 1996, the BMW Z3 7 Series first received a diesel engine, and in 1997, the R1200C motorcycle was introduced to the public, which was a completely new interpretation of the road motorcycle. Its sensational design harmoniously combined traditional and futuristic elements, and the resulting 61 horsepower engine became the most powerful BMW engine ever created. In the spring of 1998, the 5th generation of the successful 3 Series sedans debuted. 2015 was the most successful year in the history of BMW Group. Total sales of all brands for the 5th year in a row set a new record. In total, 2,247,485 BMW Mini and Rolls-Royce cars were sold to customers in 2015. The revenue in 2015 was 92,175 million euros. The increase is 6.1% compared to the previous year. The whole assembly process is done by hand. Only computer diagnostics of the main characteristics of the car are used, which once again confirms the high manual Bavarian quality. Well, that's all from BMW for being with us. Like the video and don't forget to subscribe. You can even click on the bell so as not to miss the next episodes. See you, friends.